Hi, everybody. Hey, does the audio sound okay? How are you today? My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. It's a live call-in show. You can call anytime, 805-669-6397. That's 805 Mox News. So anyways, can you hear me okay? Could someone type and let me know that you can hear me okay? Oh, I guess I can pull it up over here. I'll pull it up over here. Never mind. That's the easiest way for me to figure this out. How are all of you? Do I sound like Donald Duck now? I'm not trying to sound like Donald Duck. I'm just wondering if I do. I think that sounds okay. You guys think it sounds okay? Looks like it sounds okay. Okay, here we are. My name is Mike. Here we are. And I am trying to find out. Well, I thought that maybe you guys have some things to say about President Trump wanting to ship undocumented immigrants off to sanctuary cities. Because this seems like a pretty hot button issue, and I actually have I have some things to say about that. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get this off my damn screen. Hey, how are you? So let's see. So if you guys have something to say, I don't want to jump into what I'm thinking about Trump shipping off illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities. Before I talk to at least one or two of you guys, because I want to hear what you guys have to think and or have to say, because it's your input that makes Mox News really of value. As I've always said, it's you guys that give these videos meaning, because I could post all the videos in the world that's ever been made, but if you guys aren't watching them, they're valueless, right? So I am here doing this now to see if you guys would like to participate in this conversation. The telephone number is 805-669-6397, 805 Mox News. You can call anytime. I am going to do this now. Let's see. So, hope you guys are doing well. And I hope that you guys have something to share with me, because I'd like to hear what it is that you have to say, so that about this subject. Because I think that you guys have something to say about this. You guys are smart people. And the thing is for me about this subject, about Donald Trump threatening to ship illegal immigrants off to sanctuary cities. The thing about it for me is that this is really important, what he's saying here. And I'll get to that in a minute. But I think that you guys, have a lot that you might want to say about this, because this is really, in my own opinion, this is really close to the straw that breaks the camel's back for Donald Trump, if it hasn't already happened. I know for a lot of you that it has, and I understand that. I mean, again, as I said, before the election ever took place, is that I could never vote for Donald Trump. Of course, after Barack Obama's first election, I could never vote for Barack Obama either. Because they're horrible, horrible human beings. And it's like you're saying, I give my support to this horrible human being, and I just can't do that. So, but the same thing about Hillary Clinton. I could never, ever vote for Hillary Clinton, especially since she helped George W. Bush march straight in to Baghdad. You know, hand in hand, Hillary Clinton and George W. Bush and Dick Cheney were off to see Saddam in Baghdad, and nobody was going to stop them, and it was her job to do so at that time. I agree. I agree. It's not Pepsi Coke. It's not. I mean, but close. It's giant douche versus turd sandwich. You know, and it's understandable why someone would vote for giant douche, because nobody wants a turd sandwich, right? So, and I think that this is the very best way to look at these elections, the outcome of these elections, and your neighbors who might have voted for someone that you can't stand. But it's easy to understand why they would vote for that person, considering, you know, that it's either giant douche or turd sandwich. It's easy to understand. Or this guy saying Pepsi or Coke. Hello, caller. How are you today?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks very much. Where are you calling from?
Kentucky. Ken from Kentucky. I'm an Italian cuisine relocation engineer.
That sounds awesome.
The pizza man.
I love it.
Giant douche or a turd sandwich, huh? I think I'll go with the douche. I like the hole it uses better.
Well, of course, nobody wants a turd sandwich. I mean, maybe John McAfee, but you know.
Well, on the illegals that they have to release, I think Trump's doing a very nice thing by letting them go to the sanctuary cities where they'll be more welcomed and have people there more like them, and then they won't get put in jail or anything.
Well, let me ask you: so in Kentucky, do you have any sanctuary cities there?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. So, because a lot of towns, you know, that are around the sanctuary cities, you know, they voted for Donald Trump, and now he's going to Now he's going to ship off these worst of the worst people. You know, these criminals. The way he described them, basically, they're terrorists, and he's going to ship them off to American cities where they're.
Well, I don't think he said that. I think he said some of them.
Okay, some of them. So it's okay to ship some terrorists off to American cities?
Well, it's not okay to ship any of them, but until Congress gets their act together and figures out what we're going to do with them legally, if we have to release them into the country, it's nice to at least send them to a place where they're more likely to succeed as far as getting chastised or made fun of or harassed or what have you if they're in a sanctuary city.
Well, I don't think that the reason that, you know, that people create a sanctuary city is because is necessarily because they want to welcome illegal immigrants. You understand that, right?
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, in the best interest of these people that are getting released into our country, I think they would fare better in a sanctuary city as opposed to anywhere else.
I think what you're saying is extremely logical. I think it is. It makes a lot of sense, and I think you are correct in saying that Donald Trump might even be doing them a favor by putting them into a sanctuary city. But the question is, you know, you say that you don't think that the reason that sanctuary cities are formed, or you agree with me that the reason that they become sanctuary cities is not because they want to welcome illegal immigrants, all the illegal immigrants to their city, right?
Yeah, especially after what the people in those cities are saying.
Okay, so the way that I understand it is the reason that they become sanctuary cities is in order to protect police officers. You know,
okay.
Because if an illegal immigrant is about to get captured by, you know, or if he deals with a cop and the cop says, and he knows that the cop's going to turn him into ICE or hand him over or arrest him because he's illegal, then he's liable to do one of two things. He's either liable to run or he's liable to fight. And either way, it puts lives in danger that don't need to be put in danger.
Right, just like anyone else has done anything illegal, they're liable to run or fight.
Exactly, which is why we have to end the drug war in order to save cops' lives. You want to save cops' lives? You want to protect police officers? End the drug war now, because that's why. That's why a lot of these cops are getting shot, because they're pulling over people who have a big bunch of cash because of the drug war. Because the drug war creates the black market, which these people then exploit and make lots and lots of cash. So they have lots of cash, and anybody who has lots of cash in the United States most likely has a weapon, and especially if you're dealing with low lives, and so the cop pulls them over. And, if there's no drug war, then the cop's not going to take their drugs, it's not going to take their cops, they're not going to take their cash, hopefully. But if there is a drug war, I don't want to lose my cash. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to lose my drugs. Boom, boom, boom. So all you people, there's a reason why there's a sanctuary city. It's in order to protect the police, so that the police don't get shot at for no reason.
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know. They're not supposed to be here illegally, but it's just they need to get their act together. Congress does, and get some laws passed so that we don't have this problem.
Okay, what do you think what do you think the chance, Ken? What do you think the chances of Congress getting its act together are?
Not very good, unfortunately.
Hey, I made you laugh on that one.
Oh yeah, I hate to see this all going on, and I think maybe if Trump's wanting to maybe send them to the cities where these congressmen and women are from that are going against him, and hopefully they'll work with him.
But you don't.
And it's kind of a threat, but at the same time, what else can you do? No one's got the answer.
Well, Donald Trump seemed to have the answer during the election. We're going to stop this shit. We're going to stop it. How's he doing on that, you think?
Well, not very good.
Yeah.
Not very good. Because you got all these people wanting to come here because the country's so great, but at the same time, the Democrats can't admit the country's great because Trump's in charge.
No. People want to come here because of, again, the drug war. Because in South America, where the drug war is fucking out of control, rampant, there's this where the big manufacturing is going on, and there huge gangs are distributing this, and all this stuff is being created because of the drug war. That's why the shithole countries have become shithole countries. Otherwise, the people would want to stay there because they're not actually that bad. It's just, because of fucking rape and pillage, I got to get out of here, man.
Well, the Democrats want the drugs legalized. It'll help. The drug war, which is fine. And
you don't believe that, do you?
The border. I don't care. I think they should all be legal.
Yeah, but you don't believe that. You don't believe that that's what the Democrats want, do you?
You hear a lot of them talk about that. I'm not necessarily in a position to it, but
yeah, but they talk about they want reparations too. They're full of shit when they say that, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, so all this just pandering, and it really bothers me that it's just pandering because I want to buy into it. Yes, let's end the drug war. Let's save some cop lives. Let's stop sending all of this billions of dollars to the black market to unscrupulous people who don't care if they're selling to someone who's 21 or 12. The drug war is completely failed. It makes no sense. It's got to end. And we have to grow up about it, dude. We can't be children anymore and expect the nanny state to take care of us and protect us.
Well, if legalizing it stops the mass flow of people coming up across the border illegally, that would be great. And it would be also nice to know for sure what's in my drugs or not.
There you go. You're a man after my own heart.
I must be off. I'm rolling up to the house. I got to deliver this pizza too, and I'll tune in when I get back in the car.
All right, Ken. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for calling.
Take care.
Okay, so I spilled all my cards there. I just laid it out on the table. And now it's your turn. Your turn to lay it out. It was nice to hear from Ken. Ken, thanks for calling. So again, this is the reason that the sanctuary cities are created. This is the reason that the drug war has to end. But do you think that the cops want the drug war to end? They'll tell you, I just want to make it, the fucking murder people that are completely innocent. And they're saying, I just want to get home to my family safe at night. Well, then why'd you pick up this fucked up job to start with? And why aren't you screaming about ending the drug war in order to protect your family from losing you, in order to protect your brothers in blue from dying left and right? You know why they don't fight to end the drug war? The police don't fight to end the drug war because that ends 80% of all crime if you end the drug war. Do you know what happens if you end 80% of all crime? Don't you think cops would be for that? No, 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 no. No, no, no. You end 80% of all crime, and then the cops' budget get cut in half at the very least, if not by 80%, right? You think cops want their budget cut by 80%? You think the Pentagon wants its budget cut? Remember what happened last time the Pentagon's budget was cut? Whoa, 9/11, oh my God. Look, we can't cut the Pentagon's budget. We just got attacked by terrorists. You think the fucking police want to end the drug war? You think the police want to end 80% of crime? No, of course they don't. Police want crime. Police love crime. That's the problem with police. So, hi everybody. My name is Mike. It's nice to see you. This is a call-in show, if I didn't mention. It's 805 Mox News, or 805-669-6397. Feel free to call at any time. The line's operators are standing by. So, as I was saying, it's weird the way these people like Donald Trump, talk about, oh, we love our police so much. Well, then why aren't you doing anything to end the fucking drug war? Okay? Why? Because that will save cops' lives tomorrow. It will save cops' lives tonight. Donald Trump could say the drug war is over. We're disbanding the DEA. See, again, there you go, cops out of fucking jobs. That's why the drug war doesn't end. That's why when the Democrats say, we want to end the drug war, fucking Andrew Yang was on CNN last night, and fucking Andrew Yang was talking about how he's going to legalize heroin, and then the fucking news model says, oh, we're going to legalize heroin, blah, 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 like she doesn't get it. And he says, so you're going to legalize cocaine too? And he fucking blows it. He says, no, cocaine, we're not going to legalize cocaine because it's a different type of addiction and da-da-da. Fuck you, Andrew Yang. Why can't you just be a man and stand up to the fucking prostitute and said, yes, we have to legalize all drugs. We need to save cops' lives. We need to save everybody's lives. Yes, people are addicted to cocaine too. People lose fortunes on cocaine because it is illegal. Because for the exact same reason that you're saying we have to end the police state on opioids. He says, oh, because of the addiction, and people are afraid to come forward and say, oh, I'm afraid because I'll be arrested and that will ruin my life. Of course. That's what I keep saying. This is why there is an opioid epidemic. But it's not just opioids. It's meth. It's cocaine. It's all this stuff. You just have to legalize it. You can't babysit people day and night forever. They're we are top of the food chain. We don't need to be babysat. Okay? I can decide for myself what it is that I like to put into my fucking pie hole. And nobody that's top of the motherfucking food chain wants any dumb dipshit from the government telling them what they can and can't put in their fucking pie hole. And we all know that. Being top of the food chain, being the big-brained individuals on this fucking spinning blue rock in the middle of the giant universe. We're aware of that. That's the whole thing. We're aware of what we like. Some people like to put cocaine in their pie hole. I don't know why that's a problem for you. I know why it's a problem for cops, because if we make it a problem for cops, then we get more cop jobs. Hey, we need more cop jobs. There's all these drugs out on the street. We got to have more cop jobs. Well, if you legalize it, there won't be all this drugs on the street. They'll be in fucking stores, and people will take them home. And they'll go and have their little parties, and it won't be a fucking issue. And for the people who it does become an issue for, they will go and seek help before they lose everything and mess up their entire life. It's that simple. But instead, we keep going with this fake, phony, fucking drug war. Oh, I love the police so much, Donald Trump. Fuck Donald Trump. Yeah, fucking bolster that drug war. Fuck Barack Obama. Barack Obama, change we can fucking believe in. Are you kidding me? He could have, how many kids' lives could he have saved just simply by legalizing marijuana, by saying no more marijuana arrest in the United States. Don't mess with anybody for weed. It's done. He could have saved so many people's lives. Instead, now they're fucking ruined. They can't get loans. They can't get jobs. They can't fucking go to schools. Because of Barack Obama, who with change we could believe in, my fucking asshole. Hi, everybody. My name is Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you're finding something of value here. I truly do. There are well over 9,300 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. Each and every video hand-selected by myself to be worthy of your time. So I hope that you will take a moment and take a good look at the information that is posted here on Mox News. Oh, did I mention this is a live call-in show? So the telephone number is 805-MOX-NEWS or 805-669-6397. And it'd be real fucking nice if some of you could call. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble on. You want me to start singing? I don't think you want me to start singing. You know I will. Nobody wants that. You guys, I'm just trying to do it. I'm trying, again, to give you your voice because you're what matters at Mox News. Yes, I have these. Ha! Got it! I have, what is it that I have? I have lots of videos here, you know. I have strong opinions about things because I'm tired of it. Because I see that you guys are tired of it. Because I see that you guys, because I believe that you guys deserve better. You know, if we could end 80% of all crime by ending the failed drug war, which has cost us trillions of dollars and millions of lives, why wouldn't we end the drug war to end 80% of all crime? Why wouldn't we do that? Why? Give me one. Think of the children. Why won't anyone think of the children? The children are fucking ODing on heroin because of bullshit drug war that only keeps prisons and fucking cops fucking employed. That's it. That's all the fucking drug war does. And you all know it. You think it keeps drugs out of the hands of anyone who wants fucking drugs? Wrong. It makes it easier for your children to get lured into drugs. End of story. And it creates 80%. We would end 80% of crime if we ended the drug war. You would save how many countless cops' lives every single year? You guys, we love our police. Oh, we love our police so fucking much. So fucking much. Then fucking end the drug war and save their goddamn lives. Otherwise, you're just full of shit. Okay, Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump is fucking full of shit. He doesn't love the police. He loves that the police protect him from you. That's what Donald Trump loves about the police. Everything else they do is bullshit. And it creates crime so that they get to stay employed. Duh. Why do you want a war on porn? Why do you want a war on porn? Tell me. I mean, you have a problem with freedom? You love the nanny state that much? You want them on everybody's computer? They're already there. That nanny state is watching you every fucking keystroke you make on your computer. You can count on it. Because you are the real threat. You are what's dangerous. And that's why you are what makes Mox News important. And that's why I want to give you your voice to be able to speak out. Your chance to be able to say what you want to say. Because you are what's dangerous. You are what is a real threat to this government. And they know it. And that's why they keep you under all these fucking laws. That's why they keep you overworked. That's why they keep you on the edge of bankruptcy. Because you are the real threat. They are the real threat to us. It's what I keep trying to get you to see. The only real threat to your freedom, to your children's future, is the people in Washington, D.C. Not the Democrats, not the Republicans. The Democrats and the Republicans working hand in hand to bring us to where we are at this moment right now. Spying on your children, every single text message your 16-year-old son sends, every Facebook message, every Snapchat, every fucking picture your 14-year-old daughter takes with her cell phone. NSA swoops it right up. Every single one. Doesn't matter if she sends it anywhere or not. Every single one. And you know why? Because then they can use it at their disposal. All Congress has to do is pass a law that says all this information that NSA has collected on you, your children, is now punishable by law. We can now take anything that you've done, anything that appears to be illegal, and fuck you all. That's the government that we have. It's no wonder. What, are you guys afraid to call? 805 Moxie, you're afraid to call in and give your opinion? Is that what it is? Because the government's listening? Is that why you don't donate to Mox News? Because the government is listening? It's too late. Okay? You can go ahead and try and hide. It's too late. They already know everything. That's why when these attacks, these so-called attacks happen on schools and wherever else, they know it's coming. It's because they need it. Like the police need the drug war, the government, the military, the CIA, the FBI. They need the terrorists. They need the lone wolves. They need those people. Because if they weren't there, we wouldn't need them. But the funny thing is, we don't need them, you know, because they're not stopping those people. They're not, the people who took down the Twin Towers, from the official story, were in goddamn FBI safe houses weeks before. FBI safe houses. And then all of a sudden, lo and behold, they're fucking in planes crashing into the Twin Towers. Okay, the FBI is bullshit. The police state is bullshit. The NSA is bullshit. It's all just a fucking war on you, on your children, on our freedom. And you all know it. I don't know. I'm trying, you guys. I come out here every day. I give you more and more information. You know, I try and let you know important things that are happening. I try and give you a voice to be able to say the things that you want to say. You know, I'm holding up my end of the agreement. You understand? And I want to do this. I want to be here for you. I want to make this happen with you. Because I don't know. I don't see what the things I say in other places, right? Because here's the deal about Donald Trump threatening to send illegal immigrants to sanctuary cities. Okay, the sanctuary cities become sanctuary cities in order to protect the police. Okay, it's not to protect the immigrants. Okay, so and to minimize crime. Okay, so and Donald Trump saying, okay, Donald Trump for months, if not years now, has been terrorizing us by saying that there's invaders coming across the border, that they're the worst of the worst, that they're people who like to kill people with knives because it hurts more. Hello, caller. How are you today? Hello, caller. I know you're still there. Caller. Oh, looks like they left. Did they leave? Hello, caller.
Your call cannot.
All right, fine. Okay. So, as I was saying, the thing about Donald Trump saying he's going to send these invaders, these caravans of invaders to sanctuary cities, and this is what really bothers me about Donald Trump, is not Donald Trump so much, but having Donald Trump as a president, is he's the most thin-skinned motherfucker on the planet. The guy was born with a silver spoon in his mouth by the age of 3 years old, getting an allowance of $4 million a year, the equivalent to $4 million a year, at the age of 3 years old. Okay? Every single opportunity, banging porn stars, you know, I mean, Playboy bunnies, you know, whatever it is he wants, a supermodel, you know, softcore porn star wife, you know, whatever he wants has been given to Donald Trump. And he just fucks people. He just fucks people over. You know why Donald Trump demands loyalty? Is because respect actually has to be earned. You can't demand respect, but you can demand loyalty. Because Donald Trump, when he demands loyalty, what he's saying is, and this is the reason that he can't actually get respect, is because he says, you must be loyal to me. And he says it why? Because what's going to happen is you're going to hear me say a lot of things, and they're going to be complete and utter bullshit. Like, I know nothing about WikiLeaks. I know nothing about, that's not my bag. I know nothing about WikiLeaks. You're going to hear me say a lot of fucking bullshit, okay? And you're going to watch me fuck over a lot of people. But as long as you are loyal to me, I will never fuck you over, and you will make a lot of money. And people go, you got me 100%, sir. Because money buys whatever. And when he's saying that to you, I'll never fuck you over, he's full of shit. Okay? And Donald Trump doesn't care about anybody else making money except for Donald Trump making money. Okay? And that's the reason that he fucks people over. Okay. So, that being said, when Donald Trump was elected president, and this is the thing about what I'm saying about my big issue about Donald Trump being president is because he's like the thinnest skinned motherfucker on the planet. He's gotten every fucking break in the world, and if you look at him cross-eyed, he's fucking sending poison pen Twitters at you saying, you know, fuck those people. You know, those people don't deserve, saying, I'm going to take the worst of the worst terrorists coming across the border and I'm going to ship them off to your cities because I'm the thinnest skinned motherfucker on the planet. And if I don't have your undivided fucking loyalty and support, then I'm going to fuck you so hard I could give a shit. And this is the deal. There's a lot of people in those cities who support Donald Trump. There's a lot of people who voted for Donald Trump. And basically, he's saying these people coming across the border are the worst of the worst. Some of them are the worst of the worst, which means that they're terrorists. The worst of the worst is terrorists. They're coming across the border, and I'm going to ship them off to these American United States cities because I don't have their undying support. Because I'm so fucking thin-skinned and petty that I can't care about the people who support I do have. I'm just going to send terrorists off to all parts of the country, to the sanctuary cities, because I don't have your undying support. Because, you know, and that's the thing. This is why Donald Trump cannot be fucking president anymore. Because he doesn't care about all the citizens of the United States. He only cares about the ones who support him. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck him straight to hell. Okay? He does not, anyone who's at the president of the United States and acting like he doesn't care about these people or those people because they don't support him. If they are U.S. citizens, fuck Donald Trump and anyone else who wants to act like that. Okay? That is a bunch of bullshit. Because they don't support him, if they are U.S. citizens, you gotta turn down your computer, caller.
Okay, sorry. We're live.
Hey, how are you?
What's up? Yes, Mark. Listen, I kind of found out about you around Boston bombing time. Remember Boston bombing time?
Sure.
And you had a news clip from MSNBC where Lawrence O'Donnell was interviewing the police from Watertown.
Okay.
And that clip, I saw that clip, and the police was telling such a story about shooting off of the ground to make a skip shot, like a ricochet shot. And I started to see that this thing about fake news, you know?
Yeah.
And it really woke me up. Let me tell you, like me and you, okay, look, I got a beard like you a little bit, but, you know, but we have kind of different views a little bit now. Like before, I really woke up a lot over these years, and that clip really set me on a journey, you know, where I started to find out about this whole Freemason conspiracy and different stuff. And oh my, and like I live out of the country now. Okay?
Wow.
And I used to be in New York City and grew up in New Jersey and used to believe in CNN and all these things in the government. But I find out that they're all scripted, you know. They're all kind of acting.
Yeah.
Even to Putin. And one of the things that really woke me up was like on this journey, this concept of free energy. Okay. But really, what really got it to me was a guy in California named John Kanzias discovered you can just use a frequency like 13.56 megahertz, like you tune your FM like your car radio to
Yeah.
FM station,
Sure.
and it turns seawater. It turns seawater into fuel. It's called the Candius effect. And I find out how they're keeping us all trapped in the petrodollar matrix, you know?
Yeah.
And all this distraction, all these churches burning down, all these wars, all these things. It's a really grand conspiracy that you really have to get into like Bible stuff, you know? Like with like fallen angels or interdimensionals or whatever you want to call it, on top of
lizard people.
Deep,
lizard people.
Lizard people, and even higher.
Yeah.
Even higher. You know, but lizard people, inner earth, reptilian, you know?
Yeah.
And really like we're in like a really bad part of this cycle. Like we're in overtime as far as judgment's concerned, you know?
What does that mean?
Well, I don't know. Do you know about chemtrails?
Sure.
Okay, well, okay, look, I was raised, I grew up as a Nazi Catholic from New Jersey, American, you know?
Yeah.
You didn't realize you're growing up as a Nazi, really.
Yeah.
And I didn't really understand all stuff about God and creation and whatever and all these things and Bible code. But I became a computer programmer and like a code breaker.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah. I broke the security on the world's largest bank in 1981.
Wow.
And I was like working for them, but I didn't know it. You know?
Yeah.
My boss at the time came from the NSA, but I didn't know what the NSA was back then.
Yeah.
You know, I thought the guy was like drinking coffee in Washington, leaning on a file cabinet. But so I ended up really going through a journey. And I don't know, I just lost my thought now. I guess they give you brain spikes sometimes when you talk too much.
Ah.
What were we just talking about?
Well, we were talking about see, now you did it to me.
Let me tell you,
go ahead.
I could have been just like Donald Trump if I stayed in New York, but I left the country kind of in around 86, you know, 88.
Yeah.
You know, but really, I'm telling you, that clip that you had up posted about MSNBC was like so critical in my life in waking up. You know, you have some things like I had a girlfriend, definitely one thing, but as far as the whole internet experience, that clip, and I really have been like begging in my life differently, but I should try and find some money and give some contribution to you. One time I try and beg some other people, but I try and send over a couple of dollars soon, hopefully, God willing, you know. But really, you know, we're in such a big matrix, you know, like, do you get into the simulation theory, like that simulation theory?
I try not to go too far into that sort of stuff because it becomes, I see people get really trapped in that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I got trapped in it, but you know, like I had really high computer training in the 80s, like as a systems. We used to do everything back then. So I used to run like a big system in the 80s for Morgan Stanley.
Wow.
And they wanted me to come back out of in like the mid 90s and take over. And the budget in the computer department was equal to the government's budget in the country I'm in right now. Okay.
Dang.
$400 million. These guys are doing so. Oh, but I was talking about judgment and chemtrail.
Okay.
Like, yeah, part of chemtrails and this whole thing in solar radiation. Like if you look in the Bible, they talk about judgment being fire. Book 2 of Peter, chapter 3, verse 10 talks about it. Revelation talks about it. And this we can look at as a magnetosphere failure right now.
Huh.
Okay, because You know the way we're living with Mother Gaia, with Mother Nature and karma and everything. We have to expect karma to come on us, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and
it's all laid out there right in front of us, and we act like we don't see it.
Yeah, do you know about Albert Pike and his plans for World War I and II and III, and how he's going to use the Muslims in World War III?
No, I don't know Albert Pike.
Albert Pike is the father of Freemasonry in the New World.
Okay.
Okay, he's the founder of the Ku Klux Klan, and he's the godfather of Freemasonry in America, in the Western world. So, and he had a plan. Okay, it was actually in the British Museum, but they took it out. But it was a letter that revealed some of the plan for World War I, World War II, and World War III.
Wow!
Was to mobilize the Muslims as puppets, you know, and bring about the destruction of Western civilization. And that's what we're under. That's what's happening.
I've said again and again, this is the destruction or the decline of Western civilization for sure. I mean, we're looking at complete system failure as far as I can tell.
Yeah, yeah. What about Bill Cooper? You familiar with his book?
I don't know.
Bill Cooper, you heard of him though, right?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Okay, he was like an Alex Jones,
okay,
from the 1990s, so coming up to 2001, and he wrote a book talking about Freemasonry and the Illuminati called "Behold a Pale Horse." That a lot of people take Bill Cooper as a cult, like in truth seeking, you know, and that type of thing. But on page 89 of his book, okay, he says that the Vatican AI, artificial intelligence, from the late 1980s, is scripting world play. So that's like how many years ago? So like right now, Donald Trump, Putin, all these things, almost everything is scripted by the AI. You know, This is my belief, and it's strongly my belief in my research. There's an AI scripting world play right now, and there's an AI higher, you know, like what we call God or whatever, creation, or Arthur C. Clarke talks about the black monolith, the Kava cube. You know, Arthur C. Clarke talks about the overmind or the black Kava. So there's an AI that is, you know, higher. So really, to me, we have two AIs above us. Two occulting AIs. Like 9/11 was a battle of two AIs, okay, two occulting. Like 9/11 was a supernatural weapon which justified the buildings and was done according to judgment, like the Tower of Babel. And the deep state occulted it. Like the deep state is always occulting God, you know?
Yeah.
Or whatever. And 9/11 was like those preachers talk, it was really like that or whatever. We're in a supernatural world and we're being misled that there's no God or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I understand. It's for me, you know, as far as God or like a higher spirit or whatever, is when I look around, you know, it seems impossible to my logical mind that that all of these things that happen so perfectly could be happening by random. You know, all of these things are so independent, so reliant on so many other things could possibly happen randomly, you know?
Like quantum synchronicities, you know? I always say there are no coincidences. There are only coincidences or coincidence on the timeline, you know?
Right.
But, you know, I have a very strong computer background, and I've had the fortunate time over the past, since 2011, to really research a lot on the internet and had Wi-Fi and broadband and got to research a lot. And the whole thing about sacred gematria, and like when you get into the pyramid and other things, and you find like the radius and the circumference of the planet, or celestial mechanics coded into the pyramid.
Yeah.
You know, there's some really crazy stuff that I can only explain myself, or I am comfortable explaining when, like, I like to tell people God is a machine.
Huh.
You know, that if you consider ourselves like we're in the video, we're like a player in a video game.
Yeah.
And we didn't write the code for the video game. We didn't make the machine, and we're not playing it. It's on that level. You know, it's easy to explain all this. It's easy to explain shapeshifters, whatever. But especially some of the monolithic works around the world and stuff that's sunk, and you realize we've gone through multiple versions, you know?
Yeah.
And that was when the multiverse, like when I was doing my computer work back in the 80s, I was working on super mini computers. And this was like before that you could only work on mainframes. This was before workstations and PCs, and we had an opportunity to be kind of like crazy. There were some of us that were kind of crazy back then, you know? We would work into the night and sometimes sleep on the floor. And I remember I would work with a guy who was a genius. So I work with a lot of geniuses at Morgan Stanley, let me tell you. And one guy who is really the most genius, he has a 0 in his name. And but what we got into was, as we ended up growing systems, you realize you have to create multi-versions, you know?
Yeah.
As you grow, like as the system grows, you have this guy in accounts payable that wants to test this part of the system, and he needs live data from X and Y, but he wants to create his own data for B and D or whatever. So you need to build into the infrastructure of reality the ability to have alternate timelines or multiverses. And that's what I see. You hear people talk about the Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Mandela effect, to me, seems like a glitch when God combines timelines on us, you know? Or multiversions. When he collapses things, sometimes there's little contradictions, you know? Little glitches.
Right on. What's your name?
Oh gosh, which name you want me to know? I have YouTube names.
Just a name that I can say.
Tina.
Tina. Okay, Tina. Thanks a bunch for calling. It's really nice to hear from you. I really appreciate your input. I'm gonna give some other callers a chance.
All right, bless up.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, so, and Tina, if you want to donate something, a pizza would be awesome. You know, you don't have to like save up for $1,000 or whatever. And all of you guys, a pizza would be awesome. You know, I'm out here every day doing my thing for everyone. So, and that's all I'm asking for is a pizza.
So you need to press 1.
I pressed 1. Hello, caller. How are you today?
All right.
Who is this?
This is Polly.
Hi, Polly. It's nice to hear from you.
Your last caller just jogged my memory. I just wanted to bring up, there was one documentary I saw a while back when I was learning about fluoride and JFK, and it's New World Order, Secret Societies, and Biblical Prophecy by Leonard Ulrich. And it's a docudrama, and I think it's about 2 hours long, but it really kind of gets into everything, including, I forgot his name now, the World War III that the other caller just said.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what he said, too. Pike, his name is Pike.
And
Pike.
They have a statue in Washington, D.C. in his honor. Oh, I forgot his name. But
Pike.
There is so much stuff.
It's Pike.
Yeah, Pike. That's it, Albert Pike. But that's a really great documentary on just kind of like it was done by a historian from Canada who decided to try and debunk conspiracy theories. So he got into the history of like false flags and all that sort of thing. But,
right on. Sounds very good.
Yeah, and I think you brought up, or somebody in the chat, reparations that are being proposed.
I said that, yeah.
It's like this is like nuts. It's like Twilight Zone with everything going on.
It's just the Democrats are desperate and they're just throwing everything up against the wall they can. And not fucking one of them is talking about foreign policy except for Tulsi Gabbard. It's insane.
Right.
So
you know what?
Go ahead,
Polly. It used to be the Republicans were war hawks and the Democrats were not.
Yeah.
Now look at it. It's they both are.
Yeah. That's what Tulsi Gabbard said on her announcement speeches. We have to stand up against both sides that can't get enough of these wars of choice because both sides love them.
They love death. Oh, I'm sorry. That was my main point. There are so many things going on the like political world stage, vaccine mandates, what they're doing with children, that's pushing this gender identity.
That's so messed up, huh?
Well, parents in some states, you can opt out for sex ed for your child, but you can't opt out for the gender ID.
Well, I'm talking about the vaccines. I'm talking about it's like yeah. I mean, they're not. You can't even protect your own child now. They're saying. Well, I saw something the other day where they're saying that anybody in New York City, the mayor of New York City, De Blasio, was saying anybody who hasn't had the measles vaccine, they're going to force them to get one.
They just shut down the commissioner. The appointed commissioner of health for that area.
Yeah.
They went to different the Jewish daycares and schools, and they wanted papers. They shut them down until they can see enough papers proving that no child there is not unvaccinated.
Wow.
It's unreal. It really is. And even though like Rockland County, the judge overturned the ban on saying like you can't go anywhere in public for 30 days if you're not vaccinated. What they're lying about is a lot of these measles outbreaks, which it's not even an outbreak, but measles, it's a lot of it is from the vaccinated, and they're lying about it and covering it up.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. You know, I think people get the flu from the fucking flu shot. I mean, it makes sense you get the measles from the measles shot.
For some reason, they use measles as they can, even before Obama left office, that can be considered where you can't even go state to state without like proving that you've had vaccination for that.
Wow.
I don't know why. It's bizarre. With Dr. Moss, he just talked to a council in West Virginia, and he said from 2003 to 2017, there were 2 or 3 measles deaths in America and 127 deaths from the measles vaccination.
Yeah. Yeah. Insane. That makes so much sense. I mean, it's like, yeah, this is what we need to do. It's so scary that the government's this out of control, you know, and in our lives and our families' lives. They, you know, it's like they just keep getting more and more in, and it's like there's no freedom left.
Tyranny. No, it's tyranny so ramped up now. And I mean, look at a few years ago, they were going to start. Doctors are now working for the government to ask for the guns in the home.
Yeah,
you know, to ask pediatricians' offices.
I agree.
Under the guise of public safety.
Right. And it's none of their fucking business. Yeah. I mean, and fuck the doctors too, because they're the ones that are they're not telling you that the vaccines might be dangerous. They're saying shit like, "Oh, marijuana is dangerous." Fuck them, you know. It's just insane, backwards, and everything seems to boil down to money. You know, I'm just so tired of.
You know what?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I found out Blue Cross and Blue Shield. A lot of parents are having trouble now at pediatricians' offices getting kicked out if they don't want to go along with the vaccine schedule. And Blue Cross offers $400 per head for children 2 and under, but it has to be like a 90-something% a rate of compliance. So these doctors stand to get yearly tens of thousands for nothing. It's like all or nothing. So 400 times however many children they see in a year, under 2, that's what they're going to get the money for. And they're all in debt. You know, doctors are strapped 10 years of medical school and
Porsche payments.
But, I was going to say with New York and New York City, Governor Cuomo, this year, they finally have had a Democrat majority for both the governor and the assembly, the Senate for New York.
Yeah.
So they can pretty much, like taking candy from a baby, they can get past all these things that they've been stopped for decades to be able to do.
Yeah.
They just roll it all out. And the very first thing they did was on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, they did that infanticide, which was it's murder to kill a baby. But now it's taken out of the penal code. It's perfectly legal if a mom decides for whatever reason up to the baby being born. So that was the first thing they did. It's like they waited to do that. And you could see even Cuomo in his speeches talking about leading the way for America. They're using New York like a beta test.
Yeah.
Whatever they can get passed in New York, that'll be the way for the rest of the.
It's always kind of been like that, you know. And I think that's part of the reason why people have always kind of despised New Yorkers, is because, you know, they feel like, you know, oh, we're the ones that are ahead of everybody else. We know what's going on. You're not even there yet. You don't even know what's happening, you know. And
progressive.
Yeah. And it's not just that. It's you know, I mean, there's all, they've always had this attitude, like, you know, whatever. But you know, like Giuliani, you know, the fucking attitude Giuliani has. Who the fuck wants to hang out with somebody like that, you know?
That's right. Oh my! And then look, Mayor Bloomberg, when he was the mayor during Hurricane Sandy, he stopped the National Guard from saving lives, bringing water and food, helping old people, you know, stuck in maybe, I don't know, you know, the high rises. He did not allow the National Guard in because they have guns. And then what else did he? Oh, he banned like more than 20 ounces of pop, something like that.
Yeah, that's insane, dude.
No salt in there.
I mean, it's just the nanny state is just out of control.
It is, and the people, you know, they didn't oust him out. He should have been ousted just for that. Even banning salt in restaurants, deciding what's healthy or not. I think it was like a beta test, like the TSA. They waited until it was Easter, not Easter, it was Thanksgiving or Christmas, that they decided to pull you can't go on a plane unless, you know, we grope you everywhere and check you. And
right. And
so
people
weren't going to balk at it because
they have places to go, people to see.
Right. And I swear it's like they just figured, let's see how much resistance there is. Remember that guy that he said, hey, you just touched my drink or something like that, and they called security on him and kicked him out. Yeah,
they won't. There's no freedom. I mean, this is what I'm saying. You know, you can't speak out. You can't boycott Israel. You boycott Israel, you go on a list now. You know,
Well, you know what I realized? I was thinking, why is it I hear rumors that almost, I feel like I'm talking too loud, almost 90% of our Congress or senators are dual Israeli citizens. I'm thinking, like, how can that be? Well, and why? Well, they're pressured to, it makes sense now. It's like they sign a loyalty oath. You either are loyal and you do as you're told. They say, even James Traficant, he said, like, they before, and Cynthia McKinney, before things are voted on, they check to see what the lobbyists are going to say about this vote or that vote.
Yeah.
I mean, so what is that? We're taking over.
Yeah, we're not. It's not a representative government in any way, shape, or form. I don't see those.
Exactly.
I don't see those people in the Washington D.C. representing any of us. You know, except for Donald Trump. The reason Donald Trump is popular is because he's up there and he's acting like an angry person. And that basically represents the population. We're all fucking angry. So, you know, so it's like, so that's why people are attracted to him. Like, you know, he's the one person who's like representing, you know, their venting. He's like venting for them or something. You know what I mean? It's just, but we have to get back to this freedom thing. It has to be the priority. We have to recognize both sides as the enemy. We have to, we have to find some way to move beyond this Republican and Democrat bullshit, because they're the ones who sold us down the river to this horrible place that we find ourselves at now. Both of them working hand in hand, not one or the other.
We need to restore what the republic was meant to be, and I don't see it happen. Like when the what was it, the Tea Party came about?
Yeah,
it seemed hopeful then, but it really has to be sort of like grassroots. But we have to get rid of about like 80-90% of our government. It's so bloated. It's so, and like you mentioned with the prison population, look how much money and resources are dedicated just for jail, for prison, security guards, the court system, all of it.
Yeah.
It's a racket.
It's
one big racket. Totally
a racket. It employs so many people. It makes so many people so much money. It's like war. It is war. It's war on the American people, and it needs to end. So, Polly,
I don't know. I think local.
Yeah, go ahead.
Our best hope is really focusing on local politics, our immediate neighborhoods, sheriffs. People need to start going more to like town halls, councils, for things like with 5G getting rolled out.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. Because there's no hope from the bloated federal government getting anything done.
No, I agree. The federal government is it needs to be burnt to the ground and start over from scratch.
Yeah, it's like a monster. It's like a DARPA dog, out of control.
Yeah, I think so. All right, Polly. Well, thanks a bunch for calling. I really appreciate it. It's nice to hear from you.
Okay, God bless.
All right, bye. Okay, so and this again, this is why I love doing this. This is what's really important, is that you guys can see that, we are kind of all on the same page. I mean, yes, you may have voted for Donald Trump and you may have thought, I'm going to support Donald Trump, but he is a giant douche. He is a giant douche. He's always been a giant douche. And his opponent was a turd sandwich. And there's 99% chance his opponent this time is going to be a turd sandwich. And nobody wants a fucking turd sandwich, except for maybe John McAfee. But that's not the point. The point is that they are the enemy. All of them worked together to fuck us. Okay, they see us as the enemy, and what really needs to happen is we need to turn it around back on them and see every last one of them as the enemy until they are speaking out to make it stop, make the wars stop, make the wars on the American people stop, make the wars overseas stop, make the NSA stop spying on your fucking 12-year-old children. Okay? It needs to end. And they work for us. And we should find some way to just say, you don't get a paycheck. That's what needs to happen, is the American people need to fucking step up and say, until members of Congress get a 50% approval rating, they don't get health care and they don't get a paycheck. And that goes for the White House, and that goes for, the DEA and fucking local police too. There you go. If your fucking city doesn't approve of you, you don't get a fucking paycheck. So you better get your fucking shit together, because you fucking work for us and you need to figure that shit out now. Not some corporation, not some fucking DOJ in Washington, D.C. who works fucking for nobody except for the never-ending police state. And they're supposed to be there defending our freedom. That's what the police are there for. That's what the Department of Defense is there for. That's what the Department of Justice is there for. That's what the NSA is there for. That's what the CIA. Defend our fucking freedom. Does anybody believe the people in Washington, D.C. are defending our freedom? Do you even think you even have freedom anymore? And Donald Trump wants to send the worst of the worst people coming from South America to sanctuary cities where you might live next to one, or you might even be a Donald Trump supporter who lives in one. And that's how much he cares about you and other American citizens. If he's going to send the worst of the worst invaders coming across the southern border to a city near you, or your city, or a city near you soon, because he has zero respect for people who don't undyingly support Donald Trump, because he's the thinnest skinned motherfucking piece of shit on the motherfucking planet. If you want to know. Porn war. No porn war. No porn war. Depending on which side you're on. All right. So, and that's the whole point. This is why Donald Trump should not be president any longer. Because if he thinks it's okay to send invading, worst of the worst terrorist. He might not call them terrorists, but he's calling them everything else but terrorist. If he thinks it's okay to send that kind of people to cities in the United States because he is a completely failed president who hasn't been able to make anything happen that he's wanted to make happen, even with a Republican House of Representatives and a Republican Senate, he can't get done what he wants. Okay, what he promised you he was going to make happen when you gave him a Republican Congress and a Republican Senate. And he can't make it happen because he is not fucking a good person. He's not a good person. He doesn't care about America. He doesn't care about police. If he cared about police, he'd end the drug war. He'd talk about ending the drug war at the very least. He doesn't care about police. If he cared about the people of America, he'd talk about ending the drug war. He doesn't talk about it. He's like, oh, drugs coming across the southern border. We got to stop the drugs. No, we'll just send them to the sanctuary cities with the illegals. Right, Donnie? Okay, fuck Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not belong in the White House, and he needs to go. Now, that being said, I don't see anybody the Democrats are going to put forward
Tulsi Gabbard is the one person that can beat Donald Trump in the debates. No one else can. And the Democrats act like she's not even running. In fact, they have said Tulsi Gabbard is not a real Democrat. Because why? She wants to end the wars. Because why? She's taking steps to end the drug war. So she's not a real Democrat. You can count on that. That is a good thing. The Democrats are the ones who brought us here. The Republicans are the ones who brought us here. That's why when they said Donald Trump's not a real Republican, everybody voted for him. Because the Republicans are the ones that fucked us over up to this point with the Democrats hand in hand. So when they say Tulsi Gabbard is not a real Democrat, that is the one person you should be sending support to. Because the last thing we need is a fucking Democrat as the fucking nominee as a fucking Democratic Party. Unless, of course, you want 4 more years of Donald Trump. Which is probably what the Democrats' plan is. Because you give 4 more years of Donald Trump and they'll be like, oh my God, we got to get rid of all these Republicans. And then they'll have the White House. And then they'll have the fucking Senate. And then they'll have the fucking House of Representatives. And then they'll be able to make it a sanctuary country instead of a sanctuary city. And give reparations to everyone. All right, so did I mention this is a call-in show? It's 805 Mox News. The telephone number is 805 Mox News or 805-669-6397. And I really try to make this about you guys, not about me and my opinions. Because I have the strong opinions, and I've done my best not to make them the forefront of what Mox News is. Because I want Mox News to be about everyone. I want Mox News to be about the more opinions that are at Mox News, the more informed we can be moving forward. Okay? It's not about the left or the right. Mox News is not about Republicans. Mox News is not about Democrats. Mox News is not about liberals. Mox News is not about conservatives. Mox News is about freedom. Your freedom. Okay? And if Donald Trump doesn't want to protect your freedom and you're a U.S. citizen, and nobody in Congress wants to protect your freedom as they make more and more laws to criminalize just being human, and nobody wants to fight for your freedom, well, you can count on the fact that Mox News will be here doing its best. Okay? And I can only do it with your help. I've said again and again, I will do this till my last breath, as long as I have the support of the community that I serve. That would be you guys. Okay? When was the last time you supported Mox News? Because it'd be really, because I can't do it without your support. I want to do this. This will be my 5th presidential election on YouTube. My 5th presidential election on YouTube. Okay? Covering it like nobody else. You hear the one caller? You hear this again and again. Your video opened my eyes. Your video started my journey down this path of awareness. And you know why? Because I present the videos. Yes, it's just mainstream stuff that I show, which you can find all over, but I present it in a different fashion. And not only that, I give you your freedom to comment on it the way you want. So you see all these opinions and you begin to open. Little by little, the eyes are open. And because it's the mainstream media, the people whose eyes are who are afraid, and eyes aren't really open because they're afraid to look. Don't want to look at that monster. The mainstream media is safe. So I go, come on in, the water's warm. And they come in and they go, oh, hey, this is cool. And they look around, and little by little, all of a sudden their eyes are open. You go, Mom, you really opened my eyes. And this is what you help make happen when you support Mox News. Over and over again, you hear these callers. And they say, oh, I should really probably give something back to you. That would be nice if you could give something back. Okay? I work really hard to make this happen. There's more than 9,300 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. I published over 65,000 videos on YouTube. How many eyes have I opened? Wouldn't you like to help make that happen? Don't you want to keep that in place so that it can continue to happen and open more eyes and more eyes, so that hopefully one day we can come together to make something bigger happen than this bullshit government that we currently have? That's what Mox News is all about. And anybody who's been here from the beginning knows that's what it has always been about. You and I and everyone else here coming together to make something bigger happen than the bullshit that we currently have. Okay? I would like to continue down that path. I'd like to continue down that path with you. I can only do it with your support. If you don't support me, I likely am not going to get support. And likely Mox News will fade away. And I can tell you, without your support, I am not going to make it to the end of my 5th presidential election here on YouTube. So, and I think that it's important that you guys know that, because I think that a lot of people really want Mox News to be here and would be very disappointed to find out that Mox News is no longer around, and would feel kind of a defeat if Mox News were no longer around. And I don't want that for you. I don't want that for us. I don't want that for Mox News. I want Mox News to continue to fight for freedom for all of us. Not for Republicans, not for Democrats. Freedom for all of us. Just freedom. Freedom isn't for Democrats. Freedom isn't for Republicans. The minute you lock yourself into one of those boxes, you are no longer free. So I guess we're done here, because I have said pretty much what I have to say, and no one else is calling. So I thank you very much for everyone who's tuning in. Again, this is my YouTube page, Mox News. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Hello, caller. How are you today?
Yo, Moxie.
What's up, bro?
Not much, man. What's happening? You were something to get going. You just going, man. Non-stop. This is a 24/7 video going. The videos are there when you're not posting. They're there 24/7. So we appreciate the support you're giving us.
Right on. Thanks very much. I appreciate that. Where are you calling from?
Yeah. Australia.
Nice to hear from Australia again. It's always good to hear from Australia. You sound very happy.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, what do you think of Donald Trump in Australia from way over there?
Is he here?
What's that?
Is he in Australia?
No, he's not in Australia. He's in Washington.
Okay.
He's in Washington right now.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
it's hard to judge like a person through a few words they speak, especially when they know they're being watched all the time by the public. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. It's you kind of get trapped. I don't know if you saw the video on Fame with Justine Bateman, but she's talking about how you kind of get. It just posted like less than 24 hours ago. So it's not buried or anything if you want to see it, but it's not. You kind of get trapped into this kind of like persona and everything. When you're have a lot of people looking at you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not surprising that happens because everyone just tries to protect themselves, I guess, at the end of the day. And it would be hard to be under that sort of public scrutiny.
Yeah. Yeah, having all
otherwise you find yourself skateboarding in an embassy. You just go cuckoo. You've been there for 7 years and you just start riding the skateboard because you're sick of being in a room for 7 years.
Yeah, it's I can't imagine how mind-numbing that must be.
Yeah, true.
Especially with no internet. What's your name?
Daniel.
Daniel, it's nice to hear from you, Daniel. So, have you been watching Mox News for a while?
Yeah. Cool. 3 months.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing it for about 15 years. There's a lot to look at. So, glad you found us.
No worries. Are you gonna end the show soon, or are you gonna keep going?
I'm gonna talk for another minute and see if anybody else wants to call. But did you have anything that you wanted to input, Daniel?
No, not really at the moment. Just thought I'd call you to give you some support, and I will be done soon.
I really appreciate that, Daniel. It's nice to hear from you. You sound like a very happy guy. I hope that that's the truth.
Thank you.
All right.
All
right. Call back soon. Whoop. All right. So again, the people here are nice. The people here are smart. The people here are funny, happy. That guy's actually happy. I mean, and that's the thing. If we can move beyond this petty politics of division, there's so many cool people here on this one YouTube page. There are so many cool people here. If we could move beyond the politics of division, we could make something incredibly awesome happen. I mean, shit, if the people here just decided that they wanted Mox News to be on YouTube forever, they could do that all, in like 10 seconds, but that's nothing. We could make all these things happen, but we have to move beyond these politics of division. Understand there's a reason someone votes for a giant douche. And it's not because that's the most appealing person that they've ever seen and they love that person. It's because the other person is a turd sandwich and no one wants a fucking turd sandwich. So of course they're going to vote for the giant douche. Just please recognize that you voted for a giant douche, and the giant douche is no better than anybody else. In fact, the giant douche is the enemy, just like the turd sandwich is the enemy. And it's us, and they're dividing us, and that's what makes them the enemy. Hello, caller.
Hey, Mox, man, how's it going?
I am good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm watching your show here on YouTube. And I was impressed to find out you've been covering the news for 5 presidential elections. Holy shit.
Yeah, this is going to be my if I make it to the presidential election, this will be my 5th one on YouTube.
Wow, that's a long time. So
you remember Kerry Bush, right? It was Kerry Bush was when I started. And Kerry Bush, there was the guy who was like, during a John Kerry like town hall. I think it was at Princeton. The guy was like, "Don't tase me, bro." You remember that? The don't tase.
Don't tase me, bro.
Yeah, the don't. I was the first one to post that "Don't tase me, bro" video.
Wow, that's pretty intense, man. That was intense. That was like everyone was sharing it. Everyone was talking about that for like a month or two.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Well, the guy, all he did was ask a question, and because of that, then he's getting, yanked out of the town hall and tasered. He asked John Kerry why, we should trust him, considering that both him and George W. Bush belong to a secret society, a Skull and Bones. And the guy's like, bam, you don't say shit like that without getting punished.
Yeah, and I mean that's pretty serious. I was in a fraternity in college. I eventually quit, but it's like they make you get pretty close to each other. So I would definitely imagine that they'd be more than just friends. They probably they definitely would have had some kind of connection there for sure.
Oh, they have secret pacts, dude. They have. This is not just a fraternity. This is a secret society.
Yeah.
So, and it's been
Oregon. Dale Bilderberg group meets up there. That's pretty nuts. A lot of people are saying that Alex Jones was let in and was allowed to film that video because someone mentioned his name or something like that.
Huh.
I don't know. Have you ever looked? Have you had a chance to look into Bernie Sanders' taxes yet to see if there's anything that jumps out at you? I'm for Bernie Sanders, but I'm just wondering, from more of like an independent or
they were just released. They were just released a few hours ago, so I haven't. I walked the dogs and then I made cookies and then I got distracted because cookies do that to me. And then I went and did the live show. So I haven't really got a chance to look at Bernie Sanders' taxes just yet.
I can't imagine there's anything too horrible in there. But,
Yeah, no, he would not have released it if there was anything too horrible in there.
So, I don't know, man. I'm like, I had to hold my nose and vote for Clinton, even though she was garbage.
Really?
And Obama, yeah. And Obama, I thought he was kind of garbage too. He was conservative. He was dropping like 100 and something bombs a day.
Yeah, he's horrible, dude. Every time they call him the most liberal president in history, I just fucking cringe, dude. I just like, oh, you're horrible people. How can you say shit like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I looked for Kasonis in that race. I thought that guy was pretty good. But then they laughed him off stage because he believed in aliens, and obviously he's too liberal. So the corporate people wouldn't back him. But.
Yeah, remember that video? I posted that video too of Dennis Kucinich saying that he saw a UFO during the debate that one time. That video got like 5 million views before YouTube took it down.
Wow. And honestly, like the CIA just disclosed, or the FBI, one of them just disclosed Roswell really fucking happened. So, they disclosed that last year. You can go look it up on the internet. So, aliens are real, or at least, yeah, that craft was either from the future or not from this planet. One of the two fucking things. I don't know what, man.
Well, you have to be pretty majorly egotistical to believe that there's not other life out there in an infinite-sized universe with infinite-sized, Earth-like planets.
Right. Well, the theory is, because we're on the outside of the universe, maybe other life has already bloomed and lived throughout its, existence and then burned out kind of a thing. I don't know. I do believe in it, but it's just, the other question is how far would just child even find life at this point? We certainly haven't figured out a good way to even reliably get off our planet, and we're just figuring that out now. We have to prioritize that shit.
No.
Wouldn't do it.
There's no way they're gonna let us off this fucking planet, dude. If there's any intelligent life out there whatsoever, they're looking at this species and going, all they do is fucking kill all the other species. We better keep them contained.
Yeah.
Because
sorry, man. I'll let you get back to your thing, bud. Good chat with you. I sent you $5. I want you to be here to the end of this one, and hopefully they won't disqualify Bernie Sanders. But man, if the Democrat Party throws him out, that guy better run liberal or run third party or something, because I'm just not voting for the corporate anyone. I don't care what party they are. We We need some people representation. No taxation without representation. I'm from New Hampshire, man.
Yeah.
That is through. We got to.
Right on.
Remember that.
Yeah, I know.
Remember the Constitution is their document.
Fucking A. Yeah, the people in New Hampshire take that stuff pretty serious.
Yeah. They took it off the license plate, I think, too. I moved away, but I don't know if it's back on. We need to put that back on there.
Have you considered Tulsi Gabbard at all?
I do like her. She's kind of hawkish, it seems like, but I don't know. If you look at the polls, it's all behind Bernie. Like, it's all behind Bernie.
The polls are always skewed, though. I mean, the polls are I mean, they have, number one, in order to vote in their poll, you have to like jump through all these hoops. Are you this? Or do you watch this kind of news, or do you do this, or you know what I mean? And it's like so they limit the polls down to get the answers that they want, really.
Oh yeah, I'm not talking about like corporate media polls. I'm talking about like online polls, just like random websites, kind of a thing.
Right on.
Maybe that's not scientific because who knows who visits those websites? Probably every website's got some viewers. But,
yeah.
At least the Democrat websites that I go to, they're all for Bernie. Like, I just don't see anyone going, Cory Booker's so awesome. I want to vote for that guy who, took money from the pharmaceutical industries and is part of the reason why our drug prices are the highest in the world, though, even though we pay for our tax dollars to, research them.
Yeah, it's just, we're just getting screwed.
I think it's the end of capitalism, man. I mean, I really do.
It kind of needs to be the end of capitalism, because it's all it seems to do is take all of our natural resources and transfer them to the upper 1%, and then they sell them back to us at jacked up rates.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of sounds like what the Federal Reserve does too.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear from you, brah. Thanks a lot for calling, and thanks for the support. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, got from Minnesota here, man. You got my support. Later.
All right. So again, super nice, super smart. This is what we need to be doing. We need to be talking. We need to be finding a new path forward, because you guys are fucking smart, and you're good people. And if we can get beyond this politics of division, which if we're not talking at our keyboard, the politics of division seems to end. I'm able to talk to any of these people. They go, we don't really see eye to eye on some politics, and then they donate. I last night I had I posted the Mayor Pete video where he's making his announcement speech yesterday, and one of my long-term viewers was like, I just can't support you anymore if you're going to continue just to post on YouTube, because YouTube is just blatantly censoring everyone, and it kind of hurt me, because he's somebody who has given support, again and again for many years, and been around for many years. And I just felt like, oh man. And then after, and then today, he wrote that yesterday. And then today he sent $5 and said, hey man, I'm really sorry about last night. I was just pissed off, and I didn't mean to take it out on you. You're wonderful. The work you do is wonderful, and I'm really glad that you're here. And I sent you $5 to show support. And that's all I've ever asked of anybody, is if you can kick down $5, that's really super generous of you. Okay, that's all that I really need, is that for the people that I serve to, once a month or every other month, if you could kick down $5, I'll be here doing this forever, because I have a community that genuinely appreciates me. So why on earth would I turn my back and walk away from that? After this is my 5th presidential election. That's a long fucking time. This is my 5th president. I am a reliable source that fights for your freedom, that fights to protect your freedom, that does what I can to give you a platform to respond to these people, to say what you feel needs to be said. Because it's you that's really important. You're the part of the equation that makes Mox News of value. Okay? And when you decide that you're going to give back to Mox News, that makes Mox News even of more value. You give Mox News the strength to fight on another month. You help Mox News continue to be here, to open eyes, to hopefully one day bring us together to make something bigger happen than just ourselves. Something that really changes the direction of mankind. Because that's what we could do if we could join together. Just the people here on Mox News Now, if we could join together and get this like-minded idea of where we want to go, we could do that. We could change the direction of mankind if just the people at Mox News could move beyond the petty politics and decide what it is that we want to make happen. We could do that. We could change the course of mankind. So, thanks very much for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. There's more than 9,300 videos on this one Mox News YouTube page. So, to those of you who are new, please subscribe and take a good look at what's here, because I have hand-selected each and every video to be worthy of your time in hopes of opening people's eyes. That's what we do. That's what you help make happen when you give back to Mox News. So I hope that you all will take a good look at Mox News if you haven't already. And if you can give something back, if you kick down $5, that'd be super generous of you. And that's all I really ask for is that, you know, if you could, it makes a huge difference in my life. So, you know. So anyways, again, thanks for tuning in. My name's Mike. This is my YouTube page, Mox News. I think it looks like we've kind of reached the end of this particular segment. So stay cool. Wednesdays, this war is going to end. Hopefully, Mox News will be there to celebrate that day with you. Thanks for tuning in.